Alright, so I kind of wanted to make this video because, I see this quality within myself, and actually, I see this quality in a lot of other young people that I know of, right? People that that are ambitious. They know exactly what they want. They know what they want to be in like a year's time, 5 years time, how they want to live. Like even down to a science, they know exactly. Like even down to a science, like they know exactly what they want. But because of this one like quality, they they kind of nerf themselves. They kind of keep back themselves from advancing as quickly as they would like. And as I said, I see this quality in myself as well, and it's something that honestly I do not like, and I intend to change because that quality is just procrastination, right? So, me myself, as you know, I have an agency. We build websites primarily, and we build free websites. We just offer a monthly hosting, pay us, and there's no contracts. You could cancel whenever you like. Um, that is the offer we have. For a while now, I actually wanted to build this in the US actually, because obviously the US pays much better. I live in Trinidad, I live in the Caribbean. That money would obviously go a long way. One US client is like six or seven TT clients, right? So it obviously makes sense. But for a while now, I I've been like trying methods that require me to be disciplined, but I haven't been as disciplined and consistent as I should have been. And even though I know that being disciplined could bring the results that I want, um, for some reason I haven't, put in the consistent effort that is needed to get me to where I want to be. And obviously this is like doing stuff like cold calling, sending out cold SMS, trying to reach out um, to businesses on various social platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, what have you. There's like 1,000 different ways to get clients and leads online. But I primarily have tried cold calls, and I have experienced like a lot of problems, right? Like, so 2 months ago, March, I got like a lot of technical issues, So as you can see me using like headphones right now, speaking to this mic so you could hear me. I tried doing that before with like other headphones. They didn't work. I downloaded software and stuff to help it. Thankfully, that worked. And over time, I just like reinvested into like better and better gear to like make myself sound properly online when I use these different like VoIP calling channels or calling tools that go high level, right? So there were like problems that I needed to get over, but I think I would have gotten over those problems like way sooner if I had been very deliberate and intentional with my efforts, which I really wasn't. Now, bear in mind, I did actually solve those problems, and now I could reasonably call business owners and, reach out to them. They could hear me really well. I know exactly what to say on the phones um, to get them to at least try to sign up. But there goes again consistency. So I did these calls, didn't do it. So I was gonna do like 100 per day. I couldn't tell you like one day or one like month where I did 100 calls every single weekday. Um, and that's exactly what you need to do. It's just showing up every single day to get the result that you want to get. Um, and I could talk deliberately. I could speak this way about, myself because it's me. I could literally tell you what I haven't done as well and what I intend to do because it's myself. But I have seen this in a lot of other people that want the same thing, right? So I use school a lot, right? And I would like post in school my efforts, what I'm going to do, my goals, that sort of thing. And I would attract other people that had the same level of, interest, they had same goals and everything. They would like message me and stuff. And a few people message me, same thing they're going through. When time comes to like actually do the call, do your outreach to potentially get a client, For some reason, people they procrastinate out of like fear, out of being judged, out of rejection. People just don't do what they need to do. Most people like don't do what they need to do. Um, Even though they know this thing will actually get them a client eventually, it doesn't happen overnight, right? So you could do like 200 cold calls a day for like 2 weeks. That doesn't mean you're gonna get a client. Um, it depends on a lot of things, but the guy in the arena that actually like does the work like consistently, like if since March I had done 200 cold calls per day by now, which is like the ending of June, the chances that I would have had, let's say, 3 to 5 US clients are exponentially higher than right now, right? Which obviously I didn't do because I don't even have a US client yet, right? So it just goes to show it doesn't require you to be special. You don't need any secret information. There's no like one thing you just need to know, and then you'll go to the moon. Then your business will increase. Then you will reach where you want to go. No, there's no like special thing you need to know. Um, the special thing is actually the most boring thing, the most predictable thing, which is just showing up every single day. Persistence will get you much further in life than just intelligence, than just overthinking, than just over planning and preparing. Like if you just do what you and this is why a lot of like as you say, a lot of dumb people get rich is because they don't have the time to they don't just sit thinking the entire day of what if someone thinks this of me, what if they say that and I don't know how to respond, or what if I get rejected. They don't think about that, they just do it. They fail, try again, fail, try again, fail 10 more times, try 11 more times, because at some point you will win. At some point you learn, okay, this doesn't work, so let me do this. This doesn't work, let me do this. And every single time you'll find things that doesn't work and you learn from it. And this would actually help you to improve over time. Like naturally you will improve. That is just how the human brain works, right? You'll see patterns. Um, any way you speak, you'll see things that you can say better. You'll find points to argue and debate better. You'll know how to handle objections better on the phone. You'll naturally get better at whatever you're doing if you do it consistently. And if it's something where it requires, like, you could apply volume to it, like calls, if you do a lot of it, you could improve in a very short period of time. And I saw this in myself. So recently I got like sick for like a week, right? I had some jaw pain and ear pain, so I couldn't like do calls and stuff. But a week before that, I had a plan where I would start at 100 calls on Monday, and progressively I would do more and more calls each day until I got to 200 calls every single day. And during that week, it started off really good. I did 100 calls on Monday, I did 140 on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I only did like 50. You see, so first 2 days went pretty good. Third day, you see, it just didn't go as planned. But it also comes down to like, so you being like prepared to do these things and being like disciplined requires you to be disciplined in several areas of your life. So if you want to do 100 goals every single day, and that requires some discipline, you should be disciplined enough to get up at the same time every day, to work out every day, to eat healthy every day. Discipline is something that could be applied everywhere in your life, like in every different facet. It's like learning how to speak better, right? So if you could articulate your thoughts better, then you could obviously become better at sales, but you can build better friendship and relationships. You could relate to anyone in the world like better once you speak their language, of course. You could get so much more ahead if you just improve on one skill in several areas of your life. And I really think discipline is what's like missing in most young people's life. Um, School actually teaches you some form of discipline. I guess the work environment, you kind of have to be disciplined to some extent. Um, So you need to get to classes on time, you need to get to work on time, you need to dress a certain way, um, you need to fulfill your work within a specific time period, 8 hours or whatever. So there is some discipline there, but if you're like me, right, where you have your own business, you earn a semi-comfortable living. You don't need to, like for me, I don't need, some days I could just, bro, I could go like an entire week, do no work and still receive the same amount of pay that I did the week before if I was doing a lot of work. So it gives you a sense of like, you have a lot of freedom. But with that freedom, you kind of need to have more discipline than someone who is required to do something, if that makes sense. Um, Freedom is, it is a privilege, yes, but it could also be used in the wrong way. It could be abused almost, right? And this is why I like persons that if you have great ambition, if you have like big dreams, if you want to do a lot with your life, it requires you oftentimes to be strict on yourself. Like you can't just live every day like willy nilly. No, no, no. You have to be structured depending on what that goal is, what your ambition is. You have to be structured, you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, all right? You can't be distracted, and you need to do that every single day. So, and that isn't easy, you know? Now, one thing it is though, it is something that could be learned by anyone, which means theoretically anyone could achieve, most goals, most achievable goals, building a business, um, which is like a goal of many young people today. There are like a lot of entrepreneurs. Obviously, not every entrepreneur, not every like, I think it's only like 1 in 10 entrepreneurs actually become like multi-millionaires. So it's very small, but it actually shows you why, because most people aren't disciplined, right? Most people aren't willing to do the same boring thing day in, day out to you know, it's very hard to do that, especially when you don't see the results coming um in a short period of time. It's easy to get discouraged, it's easy to quit and try something new, it's easy to say I'll do it tomorrow. um Now let me do this before I actually take action. Let me consult another person, let me click another YouTube video, let me it's very easy to do that. It's much easier to do that than to show up the next day and the next day and the next day and so on. Um, but oftentimes the difficult thing is actually the best thing you can do for yourself. And yeah, being disciplined is, it's not an easy thing, but it could actually build the life that you want. I think it's the only way to build the life that you want. Yes, you can get lucky. Um, you can buy like a crypto coin and you can do like really well. You can liquidate that and get like a lot of cash. Some people have become millionaires by just being in the right place at the right time, but that's that's more unlikely the case than just being disciplined enough to build something yourself slowly over time and get there in the end stage. So you're more likely to get there by being disciplined. Just be disciplined. Do what you need to do. Whatever promises you make to yourself, keep them. Um, just get the work done. There's no substitute for getting the work done. You know, right now I should let you know. So I haven't done a cold call in like 2 weeks, right? Um, my goal is to get back into doing cold calls. Like I want to do, let me just do 100 a day, and I'm going to use like a power dialer on Go High Levels to actually assist me with this. Because the faster you can get those calls out of the way, there's a lot of like when you're doing calls, there's a lot of calls go to gatekeepers, or they go to a third party, or they go to a service line. You rarely get onto an owner when you're doing cold calls. You probably get onto like you might get onto like 10 owners if you call 100 businesses. At least this is what I've seen with the last time that I did cold calls, right? So you do need a certain amount of volume, but the faster you can get through that list of calls you need to make, the more likely that you would show up the next day. All right. Right now it takes me like 1.5 hours to do 100 cold calls. I'll try this Go High Level Power Dialer. If it takes me like 45 minutes, that's a win. Right? That's so much quicker. um, and it might actually inspire me to just come back the next day. But yeah, it's just having that discipline, just showing up for yourself. Because at the end of the day, right, when you like have this dream of building a big life and living in freedom, having that location freedom, going wherever you want with whoever you want, doing whatever you want, and living that big life, it you're doing it for yourself, really. Yes, you might wanna help your loved ones, you might wanna help your family, make them live comfortably, but oftentimes you're doing it for yourself. So show up for yourself first. Keep your promises to yourself. Do the hard things now. Um, do the hard things now so that it could pay off over time. I mean, what would you rather? Would you rather just put in like 5 to 10 years of, yes, grueling work, like getting up every day early, doing the work that no one else wants to do, doing the work that you don't want to do? That's difficult. Putting in the time, putting in the hours, but then living the rest of your life reasonably comfortable, or being reasonably, or living a comfortable life basically. Or would you rather just go to work for like 50 years doing something you hate to do, answering to a boss that you don't respect, and then retiring only to have 5 to 10 years before you die? I mean, come on, you have to give something if you are to get something in this life. I've seen it time and time again. You might have to give up some of your free time. You might have to stop looking at YouTube that long. You might have to wake up earlier. You might have to do cold calls if you try doing it, but you do need to do something. Um, yeah, excellence requires a form of payment. The universe requires something on your behalf if you are to get what you want to get. Um, and yeah, you don't become great by just hoping and wishing for it. You become great by becoming the person that is able to show up even when you don't want to and get the job done. By doing what you said you were going to do, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what situations may occur, as long as you're able to accomplish whatever you set yourself out to accomplish, that is how you achieve greatness. It's a matter of just doing the thing. Action solves everything. Whatever you say and promise to yourself, get it done. And do that every single day, or as often as is necessary to achieve whatever you want to achieve. That's it. That's the special like thing that everyone is looking for. That's the I don't know, the epiphany that some people, the eureka moment that they're waiting to receive. Um, yeah, that's the advice that kind of most people that procrastinate, I guess they don't want to hear, because it requires them to take action, and taking action is all you need to do. So use this advice however you'd like. It is advice because I mean it comes from a place of experience. I've been there, I've seen what works. And to be fair, the times that I have been disciplined, because I have been, um, it has paid off for me. Sometimes it's paid off really quickly. So doing cold calls, I did like calls where I called like 200, like 1 to 200 like businesses in Trinidad, and I followed up with them. Usually I don't follow up a lot, but I followed up with these businesses, and like on a holiday, I actually closed 3 clients like that day. So this pays off. Right now I'm running ads. I'm running ads because I need clients quickly. Right, so cold calling hasn't really been delivering much for me right now. So I'm running ads locally in Trinidad to get new clients. Today, thankfully, I got 2 new clients. Thank God. Um, so that's pretty good. One was a referral and one came in from an ad. And I actually just started running ads in the US. I don't know if my budget will be enough to get a lot of leads there right now. I'm testing like $100, but I'm trying something new. And even running ads as well. It's not like ads is not like the easy way out. I mean, it kind of is, but when you run an ad, you still need to call up the person. You still need to follow up with them after you call them. You need to, message them, nurture them, kind of. If they have no idea who you are, you have to nurture them still. And of course, the skill of running ads is a skill. You become better at it over time. It requires you to be vigilant of what works, what doesn't. It requires you to test. So, as I said, everything in life requires some form of discipline, and you know, strengthening that muscle of discipline, because it really is a muscle. It's something that you can grow, you can get better at. That would only help you more and more on this journey of life. So, take my advice, become more disciplined now. Do what you need to do now. Be consistent to achieve what you want to achieve, because discipline is kind of like the only way you're gonna achieve it. Like really, if you show up every single day, you implement on what you learn, you stay true to your word, everything that you promise to yourself, you actually carry it out, and you just learn and adapt over time. There's no way that you don't achieve your goal. Like Alex Hormozy says, do so much volume that it would be unreasonable for you not to succeed. That's exactly what discipline is. Just being persistent enough to keep going, even if you're not seeing results yet, even though it's hard, even though it's uncomfortable. Just keep going, and eventually you'll get there. Eventually you will accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. Um, just be disciplined and keep moving forward.